have a good time at camp because you'll never forget it. This will be an experience of your lifetime. My name is Dick Hyland. My wife and I started Camp Royal, and I'm known as the father of Camp Royal. That's a pretty high honor as far as I'm concerned. Don't miss out on anything, take part in all the activities, and you have things to learn. So go to it, gang. Have a great time. And I'll see you when you get home.
You know, every day when we watch the news, we see another shooting. We hear about another suicide, a kid dropping out of high school, or a family that's in shambles. We know somebody has to do something. And Odyssey and Rotary in this community have a partnership. We're not going to just stand aside.
I'm so glad that we are different. I would hate to be the same. I just want to be peculiar. How can I get this through? Nobody can be like you. Don't compare yourself to no one, 'cause they can't do what you done. To thine own self be true. Yeah. In this world full of confusion.
150 high school kids from all over Northern California. All these students have been selected, and they're on their way here right now for a life-changing experience. And we're going to spend 7 days with them out in nature, away from all cell service and all Wi-Fi and everything that they know as their day-to-day activities. And they're going to be in a place with total strangers, most of them.
All you need to do is come as you are. You'll never be lonely if you can reach somebody's problem. Everybody's life is precious, all protect us all. Don't let us fall, 'cause we all bleed the same.
We're going to talk about what's going on out there in life and in this world, and somebody's going to do something. And we've created a program that for the last 39 years has morphed into what's current for these kids, what's current in the conversation on the planet. And we know one thing that's current, that there is a lack of community. This camp started in 1979. We are embarking on whole new territory. What's on the news about high school people? Shootings, suicide rates, social media. When they started this camp, none of those three were even a part of the conversation. We're in a whole new world, folks. And I think I figured a lot of it out. I'm going to give you the answers to the test. I'm going to put it all in this bubble of leadership, because the most important leadership you're ever going to do is leading yourself.
'Cause we all bleed the same. Love each other, love each other, stop the hate.
And we're going to build and we're going to start crafting the ideal community. Give them a peek into what it could be like if people didn't just pretend that they're not sharing this planet together.
Let's do this. Clasp your hands for it. See which thumb is on top. Is it your left thumb on your right thumb? So if it's your left thumb, say that's me. That's me. If it's your right thumb, say that's me. That's me. What's that tell us about people? We're different. And we're creatures of habit, aren't we? Now let's try it the way those other people like it. I know. Those people are going to be here all week, right? So we got to learn to deal. Okay? What's that tell you about those people? They're weird, right? Now let's do this. Go back and forth between these two ways 5 times. Now that tells us that I can adapt, I can learn to appreciate people that are different than me.
So when a student is feeling isolated and disconnected from the community, they start to look at the surroundings and think, is the fault with me? And when a student concludes with that, that's where they lead to drug and alcohol abuse and suicide. Or they start to lash out and they begin obviously to build their arsenal of how they're going to pay back those that have caused them to feel this way. So as we build this community in our leadership program, we give them that sense of everybody has a story, the diversity of personalities. We give them that sense of it's okay to pause in the midst of the stress of life and catch yourself being yourself and go to the things that we've gone to for thousands of years. Our breathing, the environment, and then we test those things out and we celebrate together that we've accomplished it, that we've gone through those things. And the more kids experience that cycle of feeling something and stressing and then breaking through together and then celebrating and then feeling it and stressing and breaking through, that's that cycle to success that we were going to form. And that's what we're forming. That's what we're changing in schools, that there's a cycle of success that happens as opposed to this cycle of this downward spin of less and less connected. And I took a risk and nothing good happened next, so I'm taking less risk and I'm just going to go underground with how I feel, and I'm going to lash out in some way that is unpredictable to me and the people around. And we all know when we open the paper next week, we're not sure what challenge is going to be facing us, but are we prepared? Do we have the strong enough network? Have we developed the skills so that we will be ready no matter what comes next?
Between junior and senior year, it's such a, there's a lot going on in your head, what college you're going to go to, big life-changing events coming. So to have a group of support system to help guide you through that, and also to have courage in this face of uncertainty was a big help.
I learned how to meditate. I learned how to be patient when I speak. I learned how to listen well, and it's camps like this that actually evoke emotion and change in the world.
The chief cause of failure is when you sacrifice what you want most for what feels good in a moment.
Each morning and early afternoon consists of presentations from incredibly thoughtful and insightful speakers. Jeremy Bates, who dishes out hope, connects with the campers using music.
I got this loop station down here that allows me to build those layers because life is about stacking. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a loop together. Find a spot for you to fit in and leave room for other people to be heard.
So fresh and so clean, class of 2019. Without chasing my dreams. Fresh and so clean, class of 2019. Without chasing my dreams.
This is by far like the best track that we've ever made. And I think it's because you guys really understand the importance of leaving space. Most people try and cover too much of it. And so if you guys just to add little bits of flavor, that's what leadership is, that's what life is. It's just adding little bits of element into you, into every environment that you go into, and leave it a little bit better than when you came in.
Fresh and so clean, class of 2019.
Knowledge is power. If you use it. Otherwise, it's just information. In your case, how do I lead?
Dr. Robbie Dotson, an experienced psychologist, guides the group through a workshop to discover their personality traits.
To figure out human behavior. I'm going to read a phrase, and if it sounds like you, I want you to stand up. First one is, I am a dreamer. I am a team player. I conducted a human experiment. So in activity, you have an expectation or have a preference for participation.
Dotson refers to this exercise as the human factor profile. He challenges campers to think outside of the box, look into themselves, and find their greatest potential.
You're not just local leaders. You will be world leaders. I'm predicting this. Take your rightful place in history and make history. But make history by knowing who I am and giving other people the same opportunity.
Cho Yoder talks to the campers about mindful living, emphasizing self-awareness in body and mind.
Your mind is so full, like this cup. I want to invite you to pour out of some of the knowledge, if not all, to empty your mind, to have beginner's mind, to have open mind, to pour more knowledge, more tools and techniques and wisdom so that you can be more successful in life. Beginner's minds have more possibilities.
Her instruction includes relaxation, meditation, and the ancient practice of Qigong.
Straighten up your neck and go belly out.
In my mindfulness sharing, I include the physical exercises. Always anchor on the breathing. Mindfulness means anchor on our breathing in all the things we do to gain more concentration, more wisdom, balance of compassion and wisdom. Mindfulness helped me choose the right actions.
She doesn't have the force. She can't move things with her mind, but using her mind and her words, she can move people and she can get people to think about things that they would never think about before.
Okay, so breathing in and breathing out.
The evenings are filled with guest speakers, skits, dance parties, and campfires. And of course, no summer camp would be complete without a little recreation. The guest speakers are Rotary representatives and camp counselors, several of whom wear their emotions on their sleeve as they reveal issues they've been dealing with.
We got told there's been an accident. Your brother is no longer alive. I attempted suicide because I couldn't handle the fact that my brother was gone.
And whenever there's an emotionally charged experience involving an individual, campers are urged to show the symbol of I love you in sign language.
Even though all of that is in my past, losing my brother, having depression, I made it. I made it 6 months further than I thought I would. I made it past my 21st birthday. I made it to milestones that I never thought I would make.
I have also tried to off my life and try to get away from this earth 2 times, and I was always depressed and anxious, and I feel like Camp Royal has given me the opportunity to find support and to find ways that I can help myself mentally.
One day of camp is devoted to the ropes course, an experience that proves to be much more than a physical challenge.
This is what we call the wall, and the idea is to get all of them in the platform over the wall. When they get all set up, the kids walk up, they tap the wall, and they say what their wall is, their wall in life, the thing that's holding them up.
I'm going to do it for the wall for admitting that I need help sometimes and trusting other people to be there for me when I need help.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, Maddie.
Oh, this is how you're good, man. You're good. Good job.
This wall represents all the self-doubt that I have inside, and I'm trying to work through that and trying to realize that I'm capable and of doing great things.
Yeah.
Oh, tall guy.
Campers overcome fears and rely on each other to climb, fly, and balance by using some of the skills they've learned while at camp. These activities stress team building and personal development. The latter of which also comes into play during an exercise called breakthroughs. This is meant to solidify the mental work that has been done over the past 2 days by breaking through an obstacle, literally. Every camper breaks through a board to the uproarious cheering of their peers and camp staff.
We're doing a happy board dance. Hey, Caroline, get in there with me.
Woo! On the final night of camp is a talent show.
Kiss me underneath the moonlight.
The friendships, memories, and experiences of Camp Royal are indeed life-changing.
It just really helped develop so many different feelings that I don't think I've ever had before.
I've gained courage, definitely a bunch of courage here, and I've stepped out of my comfort zone tremendously.
I came here so close-minded. I told Gabe on the bus, I'm gonna try to be, like direct quote, I'm gonna try to be the most mysterious I can this week, because I didn't want to open up. But I'm not emotional. I'm loud and I get angry easily, and but I never really show myself. And this week is the first week that I've been able to do that.
I think the passion that people have for this place, because it saved lives and transformed lives and made lives better and given a whole new perspective to life, there's no price tag for that.
Definitely one of the best weeks of my life, really life-changing, just the people I've met, the stories I've heard, everything, like really perspective changer.
I had such an enriching and such an emotional and just crazy experience that I wouldn't trade Camp Royal for anything in my world.
In the end, it just surpassed all of my expectations, and I felt like I was finally heard and seen. So Camp Royal is a place to be heard and seen.
The youth of today face many challenges: school shootings, social media distractions, suicide, depression, and bullying, to name a few. But the people here will not just stand aside. Camp Royal equips the leaders of tomorrow with a host of new skills that will help each one of them make a positive impact in their community and at their school.
Within the past few weeks of school, we had an active shooter threat with a person posting on social media that they were going to come in the next day and shoot up the school. It absolutely blew up online, and having people who go to Camp Royal who are able to look into their school and take the lessons that they have learned and go, okay, that, and that needs help, and we can change this by doing this from all of the lessons that I learned, is so incredibly important, and it could save lives.
Think about that kid who doesn't have a choice to be silent or not. He has to be, or she has to sit all alone at the lunch table because he doesn't or she doesn't have any friends. And so maybe just reach out to that person if you see somebody like that in any situation.
I know it's my job to go back home and share my experiences with others, and hopefully if I'm able to do that, it's something that will it's like a domino effect where it will spread, and more people will be like the people here, and I really hope that's something I can do.
We're going to be the leaders of the world in the future, so I think it's really up to us to really shape society for the future.
That starfish analogy, right, where all the starfish wash ashore, but then the guy's throwing it out, so say, hey, that's hopeless, you're not going to save all the starfish, but he's making a difference for one starfish, for multiple starfish, and that's what counts. I think if we do that, it's going to make the world a better place.